I'm the only one that have this autism son. As a wife and as a mother who carry the son, I keep on asking what went wrong. Is it during pregnancy or is it during confinement?
Maybe it's a social stigma because of our masculinity. We cannot really voice out our unhappiness. We cannot really voice out that we are breaking down.
Hi, I'm Siti Nabila binti Muhammad Rizwan. I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom. I got 3 children, 1 lovely daughter and 2 autism sons.
Hi, I'm Shilpi. I'm one of the doctors at the Department of Child Development, KKH.
Hello, I'm Jason. I'm 31 this year. I'm the founder of Being Who Cooks, and I got one very, very lovely boy.
When the first time I got to know my first 7 years old boy is diagnosed under autism, I feel very disappointed, of course. Both sides of my family members, all of us have children. I'm the only one that have this autism son. As a wife and as a mother who carry the son, I keep on asking what went wrong. Is it during pregnancy or is it during confinement? Even Dr. Mei Wong previously asked me and my husband to do a gene test. The room went for like 1 minute of silence, and my husband said, "Don't need. We don't need to go for that gene test. And no matter what, that is my son. That is our son. So we are going to face this together and go through it together." My first son was diagnosed under autism, so I'm already aware of what the symptoms are, the breakdown, the flapping of hands. The second born already have that symptoms, but I'm not a denial parent. So if there is really something wrong, I already told my husband that we really need to check him. I was at home praying very, very hard to God, saying that please don't make my second one autistic also, because I'm really not strong. I'm really not strong to handle one more, because one is really hard enough. Another one more, how? I mean, like, why? What did I do wrong? I keep on blaming myself. Did I eat something wrong, or did I give them the wrong milk? Yes, every child is a God gift from heaven, but I'm not an angel. I really don't know how to handle a very difficult child when I myself is struggling with my own self daily.
If I really do have an autistic kid, I don't think I can handle it. I think I'll be in a stage of denial because I don't think I'm tough enough. I think for struggle as a parent, right, I think a lot of guys, usually we underrate our own achievement for what we did. A lot of families nowadays are like both mom and dad are working. And for that, right, we are also working, but we always see that our wife is actually putting in more hard work because maybe breastfeed for the first year or maybe for the first 6 months. The struggle with me is I struggle with myself. Like, I'm not putting enough effort, although sometimes my wife say that you are putting enough effort, but I keep thinking that I'm not putting enough effort. Yeah, every time my kid is crying, right, when I hug him, he won't come down. Yeah, it's my wife that's the one calming him down rather than me calming him down. So for the first 6 months, right, it caught a reoccurrence of sadness. Am I ready to be a dad again if I have a second kid? Am I ready to go through the same history of my kid not wanting me for the first 6 months? The struggle is really like, what can I do more to really help her without her asking?
When you just come to know for the first time that you are becoming parents, it's important to bring in the father's perspective and see how they can also be supported along with the mother here as well.
Yeah.
After my both son is diagnosed with autism, aside from blaming myself, I just want to end my life, because I really cannot take this struggle or burden that I have to go through, because they are my children. I cannot just dump them. I have to face this no matter what, and I really don't have the right support. Both of my families don't have this special needs, so they don't know what I'm struggling. So my husband said, like, if you are really gonna end your life, who is really gonna take care of your son and love them like how you really sincerely love them?
It's so important for us to surround us with people who want us to grow, who want us to feel better. That hope and that optimism, in a way, it helps us to move forwards, and things can and do get better. That mental health condition or that child's diagnosis, it does not define the child or the parent. You are so much more than that.
So I fell into depression because of finance. Yeah, and that's why I don't want a second child. Also because of finance. Because having a kid in Singapore is a very heavy on the finance situation. I also tried suicide 3 times. First time was before my child was born. The second time was during my child was born. Because I say during the first 6 months, a dad don't usually feel like we are a needed counterpart in the family. During the first 6 months, I attempted suicide the same way as the first time by jumping down. But apparently I scared, so I never jumped. When I was not taking salary, my own business was renovating. I take alcohol as an escape. Every time I wake up, I don't really feel like waking up. Because I feel like I wake up already, the cycle is going to be another 16 hours of day. Honestly, nobody supported me during this period. Maybe because I didn't speak up. I didn't talk to anybody. I don't rely on my parents. I don't rely on my wife. And my kid is still too young to understand anything. When I decided to seek help was I'm being forced to. There's this lady who's called Annette. Then because of my Instagram posts here and there, I never really honestly openly say that I got depression here and there. I will always subtly hint it to say that I'm not happy, this and that. I think she felt it. Then she applied for this program, which is a subsidized program for therapists. So I went for a few times. Then later, my finance straight away dropped because of my house, my kid, everything just came down together at one time. So I decided not to go. Then the clinic said that, okay, we can help you. Since it's a special program, we can help you waive off all the fee. After, I think the second attempt suicide, right? Then I really told myself that maybe I really should seek help. Actually, end of the day is I want somebody to talk to.
I mean, like they choose to understand you from their perspective.
Yeah, they really understand me from my perspective instead of trying to rebut me, say that actually you can do this. They don't really tell me actually you can do this. The acknowledgement of feeling is really helped me with a lot.
I think without judgment,
Yes.
without assuming what could be the reasons.
Correct.
It's very important to reach out for support and surround yourself with people who love you. And it's also very important to accept that, that support and look after yourselves. Often we feel that, one of the hardest things is parents admitting that they are struggling, asking for help, seeking help. It can be very scary. It can be a very lonely feeling as well. You're not very sure whether you are doing the right thing. There are lots of doubts inside you. It's really important to be there and guide them to seek professional help.
After I joined this Day One program was actually recommended by my own husband because he's a very supportive husband. He came home with that brochure that there's this Day One program. The Day One program is actually an initiative done by the Child Development Center from KKH Hospital. It's actually a program for caregiver, not for the children. So the people who care for the children.
What we wanted to do as part of this program was to shift the focus from just child to the caregiver child. Because this caregiver child or the parent-child dyad is so important for us, not just for the caregiver's own well-being, but also for the child's development, for the child's well-being, for the child's safety.
Not only the child need all the attention, all the therapy that they have to go, it's really the caregiver itself. After getting all the therapy from my psychiatrist, from the love from my social worker, I feel more alive now, and I feel more positive and motivated of taking care of my children because I know like at last I'm not alone. And after joining this Day One program really changed me from the negative and very low self-esteem mom. Even my husband tell me that I like the positive changes in you now. You are very lively. You are very positive. I never hear the word why our son is like this or that anymore.
You are able to connect better and with your children. You are able to care better with them. That is making them feel loved and secure.
Last time, for me, taking an afternoon nap, it's a wrong thing to do. But now, my husband encouraged me to take the afternoon nap. Then he said like, I think you need to stop doing the housework or cooking. He give me a rest.
I think your husband is subconsciously reminding you, don't lose yourself, especially when you're a new parent, right? The scariest thing is once you lose yourself, you immerse yourself in the whole kid. Everything is my children, right? Like, what are you living for? End of the day is your happiness is equivalent to your kids' happiness. It's not just your kids' happiness above you. Even if I come home smiling doesn't mean I'm happy. The kid will feel it. The wife will feel it.
Correct,
Feel,
the kids can really feel are you sincere or not?
The instinctual behavior.
Correct.
Now, mental health is a continuum, so on one end you have mental well-being, and then on the other hand you have mental health conditions. As we go through the different stages of the parenting journey, we may move up and down this continuum. Whenever there are transition periods in the parent's life, these can be the challenging stress points. So if you're becoming a parent for a first time, your child is diagnosed with a medical condition, or it could be when you are juggling taking care of many family members with high caregiving needs. These all could be the transition points which can make you more susceptible, and there isn't enough information, there isn't enough support, there isn't enough comfort from the systems around you, then you may become more susceptible. So it's important for us to be aware of what are the stressors, what are the emotional stressors, what are the practical stressors, to address the barriers to responsive caregiving.
Some things that we really do as parents is we just suck it out. We got no choice but to toughen ourselves. Sometimes it's like, okay, example, if my kid is sick, they are so sticky, right? Even you go to toilet, you go to shower, you cannot even leave their side for that 1 second. Even though I'm peeing, I'm holding him, right, I feel happy. I feel like it's my mindset that, wow, it's such a blessing that my poop is so smelly and he's sitting on my lap there, like, wow, you don't even mind, and he still can, papa, still smiling. Like, for me, I don't even want to open my mouth. Maybe it's a social stigma because of our masculinity. We cannot really voice out our unhappiness. We cannot really voice out that we are breaking down. Because at the end of the day, if we break down, people say that you are a man, you are not supposed to break down. You have to shoulder the whole family. For me, I'll just suffer in silence, because I always tell myself that, okay, just it will be a passing phase, it's a passing phase, it's a passing phase. But at the end of the day, it's already been 2 years.
What I've also learned as part of, this program is to make sure that I include both the father and the mother in my session, because the father is also equally important. Both of them are equally important for me. So acknowledging them, fathers might be, their way of expressing stress might be a bit different as well. So what mummies might share with me sometimes would be that daddy is away most of the time, Sometimes I worry whether, the reason why he is away most of the time is also maybe he's finding everything very stressful, yet he's not able to speak out. Fathers are opening up and they are asking for help as well. I think it's also because of the changing dynamics of how the families are as well, where both the parents are also working and looking after the kids. So they are maybe more aware of what are the difficulties that they get to see when they look after the kids as well.
Society must accept that the father has to play the mother now, the mother has to play the father now. Everybody plays their own individual part.
We, husband and wife, we have this pillow talk before sleep. So from there, we try to fix or give advice to each other, calm each other down or motivate each other before we go to sleep.
Self-care is extremely important. You need to have that cup full in order to be able to give to others as well. It's like charging your battery, so if you are well charged, you can take care of yourself and then you can take care of your family as well.
What the society, the public can do to us special need parents, right, is actually just don't judge and just be nice. We are already facing a lot of difficulty in our daily life handling special needs children. So we don't need additional judgment or negative comments. My son ever had a meltdown in a train, in an MRT train going back home. He don't want to exit. He just want to stay in there. Public now, they easily just take out their phone and start recording. And I really thank God my family was there. My father stopped them. My father say like, please don't. My grandson got is autism. He got meltdown. So from there, they actually put down the phone. Or else, like I can already predict like the whole train is gonna record and it's gonna make a big shame on my son. And of course, it's gonna affect more of my mental health.
For Bella, she is amazing because the kid is so special that maybe God, maybe life placed the kid there with her. She's willing to stop her career. My wife is not willing to stop. I'm not willing to stop. The parents is so amazing that life placed those special kids with them.
Thank you, Jason.
I think that was very nice,
Yeah.
beautifully said, you know. We have to be more accepting that sometimes children, you know, may be more disruptive, and and the parent may not have much control about it. It's our attitude and beliefs again, you know. How do we want to approach that situation? You know, do we ask the parent, is there some way that we can help? Sometimes children with autism, they can be a bit more inflexible, you know, and they can have those sensory issues as well. So how do we get the society to change around that, to be more inclusive, to have you know, public spaces or transportation more accommodative? How to train and equip the whole society as a whole, you know, about how they can be more sensitive. I think that needs to change, that all people, so it should not be just the hospital or maybe some epic centers or the parents, it has to be across all of us. And I think it is out of this awareness that Day One program came about, and Lian Foundation was able to help collaborate with KK to start this program. You know, you don't really want to wait till things really get very unpleasant or you develop a mental health condition. You want to start very early, you know, to prevent that cascade of events.
It's the awareness. Let's be honest, it's going to be a 20 years, 50 years project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is the awareness where you got to educate preschool, you got to educate since they're M1, they're nursery. Not all your friends are going to be the same. Like your daughter knows that the brother is slightly different, it's softer environment. It's really have to start from the whole new batch of generation.
Absolutely.
Also to our old ones, because I receive a lot of comment, you know, last time we don't have this autism here, autism there. The uncle from the taxi also say like, girl, you know, last time we don't have, you know, all this. If they don't talk means they don't talk lah. It's normal. They will surely talk one day. But I also want the older generation to be educated well enough of this spectrum or this diagnosis that is ongoing right now. My advice is speak up and seek help. There is a lot of organization, people out there that is willing to hear you. It doesn't need to come from your own circle of friends. Don't just stay quiet at home and just everything or the blame all on you.
I think the partner is very important. Like you say, your husband is the closest one to you. The whole world can be against, let's say if you got a bad parenting, people blame it as a bad parenting, right? The whole world can blame it against you. You and your partner must be there to fight against the whole world. Take a step back, communicate.
Because that one supportive relationship can change, you know, the whole trajectory of how you are going to be there. So it's really important to find that support system, you know, around you.
Parenting with mental health challenges is really left unsaid. You have to bring out to the awareness, right? Even before the kid is born, pre-advance them, pre-prep them, rather than things happen, then they get lost in the denial stage, they get lost acceptance stage for the 1 year, 2 years.
I really think that this topic of parenting with mental health is really being left unsaid. I've been an autism mommy since 3 years ago, and I just get newly known to this Day One program.
This topic is often unaddressed despite knowing that if you have adequate resources and support, it can help with taking care of the child, and it also helps the parent with mental health conditions. Just asking how the parent is doing, how they are coping, that is able to string a train of events which can ultimately change the outcome for the child as well. Bella and Jason are our heroes because they have come here to share with us their experiences, their truths, in the hope that it will encourage others.